Hello children, how are you all? I hope you are keeping safe at home. Myself, Divya Sharma from Shivjyoti Educational Group. Children, from today we are going to start with the revision of the chapters. Today I'll cover chapter 1 and 2. So let's move ahead with chapter number 1 and I will be covering the main points that are covered in the chapter. And you have to be very attentive, and also I will be discussing the internal questions and the important topics in a short summary. So please pay attention. Take out your books, Getting Ahead in Social Studies, chapter number 1, page number 1. The globe, a model of the earth. Now, the main points covered in this chapter are the shape of the earth, the globe, hemispheres, latitudes, important latitudes, longitudes, the global grid. Now let's discuss in short the shape of the earth. Children, as you know that earlier it was believed that the shape of the earth is flat. It was believed that earth is flat and we may fall if we go into the edges. But actually the shape of the earth is spherical. It is flattened at the top and bottom. And as it is very difficult to study the earth as a whole, so there are two tools discovered by the geographers, that are the two tools important used to study the earth are globes and maps. You can underline this in your books under the heading the shape of the earth, underline the last line, and same you have the internal question over there. Write down the question in your book and mark the answer. Name the two important tools used to study the earth. The answer is globes and maps. Now we will discuss the globe. You know that globe is a small model of the earth. Here you can see this is a small model of the earth globe, and you cannot see the whole globe at once. So you have to rotate it along the line which passes through it, and this line is called axis. Same way the earth also rotates around its axis. Now over here also you have internal question. Take out page number 3. Did you know column, you will find the internal question over there. Which is the largest globe in the world? Just write down the question in your book and mark the answer. It's Eartha. Page number 3, did you know column, you will write this question and the answer is Eartha. Now we'll talk about hemispheres. You all know that the equator divides the earth into two equal halves. That is the northern hemisphere and the southern hemisphere. You can also underline this in your book, page number 2, under the heading the northern and the southern hemispheres. Underline the imaginary line which divides the earth into two equal halves is called the equator. Here you can see this is the equator which is dividing the earth into two equal halves, that is the northern hemisphere and the southern hemisphere. To the north of the equator is the northern hemisphere and to the south of the equator is the southern hemisphere. Now we will talk about latitudes. As you know, these are the horizontal lines drawn parallel to the equator. They are called the latitudes or parallels. You can see in the picture also in the slide. So, latitudes, this is the equator which is marked at 0 degrees. This is equator, and parallel to this there are 90 latitudes running east-west in the northern hemisphere and 90 in the southern hemisphere, which makes it a total of 180 latitudes. And this line over here is the equator, which is the longest latitude. These are the horizontal lines which are named as latitudes. Okay. And over here it meets at 90 degree north and 90 degree south. So there are total 180 latitudes, and including the equator it is 181. Same way it is important latitudes if we discuss. You can see the picture given over here. Arctic Circle which is at 66.5 degree north, Tropic of Cancer 23.5 degree north, then you have Tropic of Capricorn 23.5 degree south, and Antarctic Circle 66.5 degree south. This is very important to know, children. You can mark it in your books as well. These 4 important latitudes: Tropic of Cancer, Tropic of Capricorn, Arctic Circle and Antarctic circle. Now we will talk about the lines of longitude. As you can see in the picture given in the slide, lines of longitude are semicircle. See, this is the line running in between, that is 0 degree, which is called the prime meridian. It is the longest longitude. You have lines of longitude running in semicircles from North Pole to the South Pole. These are 180 towards the Western Hemisphere and 180 towards the Eastern Hemisphere, which makes it total of 360 longitudes. We have 360 longitudes, and these are the lines of longitudes. Okay, and this is the longest longitude, which is prime meridian. Now 180 towards the west and 180 towards the east meet at a single point over here. That is why it is said 180 degree east west, which makes the international date line. On the opposite side of the world, 180 degree east and 180 degree west meets and form a single line, which is called the international date line. Okay. The longitude marked at 0 degree is the Greenwich meridian or the prime meridian. It is important, you can mark it in your books as well. There are 360 degrees of longitude, 180 degrees east and 180 degrees west of prime meridian. Now we will talk about global grid. As you can see in the picture over here, these lines of latitude and longitude intersect each other and they form a global grid. Here you can see in the picture, they are intersecting at a common points. You can see these points over here, they are intersecting at these points, and each point over here is the location of a place. So the latitudes and longitudes together form a network of lines or a grid on the globe. This is known as the global grid. Here you have one more internal question. Take out page number 5. Under the heading global grid, write down the question, what is a global grid? And mark the answer. The latitudes and longitudes together form a network of lines or a grid on the globe. This is known as the global grid. So children, this was all about the short summary of the chapter. Go through the chapter once again and see the previous video. Now I will discuss the copy work with you. Okay, now we will discuss the defined part, axis, an imaginary line that runs through the North Pole and the South Pole. This is called axis. As I told you that the earth rotates on its axis, and I have also shown you the globe also, this line, which imaginary line which is running, same way the earth also rotates around its axis. So this is an imaginary line. Equator, midway between the poles, is an imaginary line circling the earth. It is called the equator. Equator is again an imaginary line marked at 0 degree, which divides the earth into 2 equal halves. Now question answers. Question number 1, how is the globe useful? Globe is useful to us in many ways. It shows us the exact shape and location of the continents, oceans and seas. It also shows the location of countries and important cities. Now as you know that globe is a spherical model of the earth, so it very well displays the earth on a smaller scale, showing the accurate shape and location of the continents, oceans and seas, and also the countries and important cities. Question 2 is, why are latitudes and longitudes drawn on the globe? Latitudes and longitudes are drawn on the globe to locate different places accurately on it. As you studied that latitudes and longitudes together form a grid, and this grid, the latitudes and longitudes meet at a single point, and each point is the location of a place. That is why we draw the lines of latitudes and longitudes on the globe. Now question number 3 is, what is the prime meridian? Prime meridian is the longest longitude running through the old Royal Observatory at Greenwich near London, marked as 0 degree. You saw that the longest longitude is the prime meridian, which is marked at 0 degrees, and it runs through the old Royal Observatory at Greenwich, which is near London. Now question 4 is, if a place has a latitude 10 degrees north, is it in the northern or southern hemisphere? If a place has a latitude of 10 degree north, it lies in the northern hemisphere. Obviously children, if you are given the latitude of a place which is marked at 10 degrees north, it will fall in the northern hemisphere. Now discussing the diagram, the important latitudes. First, Arctic Circle, which is marked at 66.5 degree north, Tropic of Cancer, which is marked at 23.5 degree north, Tropic of Capricorn 23.5 degrees south, and Antarctic Circle 66.5 degrees south, and here you have 90 degree north and 90 degrees south. Children, please have a look at this diagram also very carefully and learn the markings, learn the latitudes of each and every important latitude. You should know the marking of the latitude. Now I will discuss the bookwork with you all. Fill in the blanks. The earth rotates along an imaginary line called the axis. The earth is divided into two hemispheres along an imaginary line called the equator. You read that the equator divides the earth into two equal halves. Latitudes are the lines that run parallel to the equator. Lines running parallel to the equator are called latitudes. On a globe, the lines running between two poles are called longitudes. Now the lines, semicircles, lines which are running from one pole to the another, these are the lines of longitudes. The latitude marked 23.5 degrees south is known as the Tropic of Capricorn. The meridian marked 0 degree is the prime meridian. Match the columns. Arctic Circle, which is marked at 66.5 degree north, Antarctic Circle marked 66.5 degrees south, Tropic of Cancer marked 23.5 degree north, and Greenwich marked as 0 degree meridian. Now I will discuss the MCQs. Which of these is an imaginary line? Equator, longitude, latitude, all of these. All of these are imaginary lines. So option D is the correct option. Which of these pertains to the North Pole? 90 degree north, 0 degree north, 180 degrees north and 180 degrees south. The correct answer for this is 90 degree north. Which of these lies in the southern hemisphere? Tropic of Cancer, Arctic Circle, Tropic of Capricorn, all of these. Now as you have seen the diagram also that the Tropic of Capricorn lies in the southern hemisphere. So option C is the correct option. The longitude of a place tells us how far north or south a place is from the equator, how far east or west a place is from the equator, how far north or south a place is from the prime meridian, how far east or west a place is from the prime meridian. So the correct option for this is D, which is how far east or west a place is from the prime meridian. The longest latitude is the Tropic of Cancer, Tropic of Capricorn, equator, they are all equal. As I told you, the longest latitude is the equator, so option C is the correct option. The longest longitude is the prime meridian, 180 degrees east, 90 degrees west, they are all equal. So the longest longitude is the prime meridian. Now children, read the chapter once again at home. Now I will discuss chapter number 2. Now we are going to cover important topics of chapter number 2, that is maps. The globe, map, kinds of maps, elements of a map. Children, as we discussed in the earlier chapter, globe, it's a small model of the earth and it is also the most accurate way of looking at the shape, size and location of places, but it has some shortcomings as well. So we also have a map which is also one of the important tools. A drawing of the earth's surface or a part of it on a flat surface, that is called a map, but you cannot flatten out the earth's surface on a sheet of paper, so it will always have some errors. Now children, on page number 9 in the did you know column, you can see the science of making maps is called cartography. Here you have an internal question. Write down there what is cartography, page number 9, and mark the answer. The science of making maps is called cartography. Now we have kinds of maps. Maps can be drawn to show a whole continent, a city, even it can be drawn to show your neighborhood or your school. And Important maps are political map and physical map. Now what is a political map? It shows boundaries of countries, states and important cities. Here you can see the picture of a political map clearly showing the boundaries between the countries, states and important cities. Physical map shows natural features like mountains, rivers and plains. Here this is a physical map of India. It shows all the physical features, rivers, deserts, plains, plateaus. Now on page number 10 you have another internal question under the heading different types of maps, right hand side, second paragraph. You have a book of maps is called an atlas. So write down the internal question over there. What is an atlas? A book of maps is called an atlas. Now we use different elements in a map. What are these elements of a map? Directions, scale, colors, symbols. You know that 4 important cardinal directions are north, south, east and west. Scale, ratio between distances shown on a map and actual distance on the ground. You already know that you cannot show the actual distance between 2 places on a map. Therefore, we use a scale in a map. Colors show features such as oceans, deserts, seas, mountains, plains, etc. Now, to represent the different features on a map, you use colors. Symbols, a shape or sign that is used to represent something. If you have to represent a bridge, you have to mark a river or show a church on a map, you will use different shape or sign. These are nothing but symbols which are used in a map. Now I'll come on to the bookwork. I'll discuss the bookwork with you all. Fill in the blanks. We read that a book of maps is called an atlas. The ratio of distance on a map to actual distance is known as the scale of a map. The distance between the map and the place shown on the ground is shown by the scale of a map. On a map, high mountains are shown in dark brown. On a map, the use of the color blue shows water bodies. Shapes or signs used to represent features on a map are called symbols. That is one of the elements of a map. On a map drawn to scale of 1 centimeter, 100 kilometers, a distance of 5 centimeters on the map means an actual distance of 500 kilometers. If north is at the top in a map, then west is to the left. Now I'll discuss match the columns. Arrow marked N on map shows the north direction. 1 centimeter ratio 1 kilometer is used as a map scale. Plains, green, and this symbol is used for boundary between 2 countries, and this symbol is for bridge. Now multiple choice questions. Which of these maps will always have some errors? Map of your house, map of your school, map of your neighborhood, map of the world. So option D is the correct option. Map of the world will always have some errors. What does a political map show? Features such as mountains, plains and rivers, roads, railway and airline routes, boundaries of countries, states and important cities, number of seats won by political parties in an election. As I told you that political map will always show the boundaries of the country, states and important cities. So over here C is the correct option. On a map, 1000 kilometers is shown as 1 centimeter. The scale of the map is 1000 kilometers ratio 1 centimeter, 1 centimeter ratio 1000 kilometer, 100 kilometer ratio 1 centimeter, 1 centimeter ratio 100 kilometers. So B is the correct option. Blue color in a map always shows plain land, hills, water bodies, marshy land. As you have read that blue color always shows the water bodies, so option C is the correct option. Which of these symbols represent a boundary between countries? So over here B is the correct option. This symbol will represent the boundaries between 2 countries. Now I will discuss the copy work with you all. Define the following. You read about the two kinds of maps. Political map, map showing boundaries of the countries, the states and the important cities is known as political map. You can also underline it in your books. It is given on page number 10. Physical map, map showing natural features of the land such as mountain, rivers and plains is known as physical map. In physical map, you can mark the natural features of the earth surface. Now, question number 1. Why do we use a map rather than a globe to study the earth? Why do we prefer a map rather than a globe? Because we use a map rather than a globe because it is difficult to carry a globe around. It cannot show detailed information. It is not possible to see all the parts of the earth's surface at the same time. Now you cannot carry a globe all around, and as it is a representation of the earth on a smaller scale, so it will not show detailed information, and at one time you can only see one part of the earth's surface. A map of the earth will have errors in the shape and size of places shown on the map. Why is that so? Now, why will a map have errors in the shape and size? Why is that so? Because we cannot flatten out the earth's surface and show it accurately, so there are some errors in the shape and size of places. You cannot flatten out a plain sheet of paper and represent the whole earth's surface. That is why it will always have errors in it. How is direction usually shown in maps? Usually maps are drawn with north is at the top, south is at the bottom, east to the right and west to the left. You can see this picture. North is at the top, south at the bottom, west is to the left and east is to the right. Now, what do you understand by the term scale of a map? The scale of a map is the ratio between distance shown on the map and the actual distance on the ground. You cannot show the actual distance between two places on a map. Therefore, we use a scale in a map to show the distances. What are symbols? Symbols are shapes or signs that are used to represent certain features and places on a map. Now, to represent certain features on a map, you use different signs or shapes that are nothing but symbols. Which standard colors are used in maps? The standard colors used are blue, dark brown, light brown, yellow and green. You represent different features using these standard colors. Now children, it was all about the revision. For the descriptive explanation, go through the previous videos once again, read the chapter, complete the book work and also mark the internal questions in the book. Thank you.